Now that in itself could not be used exclusively to say that John Adams was a Christian. But I want to read the next letter that he wrote, which was dated January 21st, 1810. This is the one that puts the icing on the cake. And I wish David Barton had read this. Learned, ingenious, benevolent, beneficent old friend of 1774. Obviously, wow, big time friends. Thanks for the light and truth, as I used to call the aurora which you send me. You may descend in a calm, but I have lived 50 years in a storm, and shall certainly die in one. I never asked my son any questions about the motives, designs, or objects of his mission to Petersburg. If I had been weak enough to ask, he would have been wise enough to be silent. For although a more dutiful or affectionate son is not in existence, he knows his obligations to his country, and his trust are superior to all parental requests or injunctions. I know, therefore, no more of his errand than any other man. If he is appointed to be a Samson to tie the foxes together by their tails with a torch or firebrand between them, I know nothing of it. One thing I know, we ought to have had an ambassador there these 30 years, and we should have had if Congress had not been too complacent to Vergennes. Mr. Dana was upon the point of being received, and had a solemn promise of a reception when he was recalled. Under all the circumstances of those times, however, I cannot very severely blame Congress for this conduct, though I think it was an error. It is of great importance to us at present to know more than we do of the views, interests, and sentiments of all the northern powers. If we do not acquire more knowledge than we have of the present and probable future state of Europe, we shall be hoodwinked and bubbled by the French and English. Of Mr. Jackson, his talents, knowledge, manners, or morals, I know nothing, but I am not unwilling to think favorably of them all. His conduct to our President and his minister is not, however, a letter of recommendation of his temper, policy, or discretion. His lady was an intimate acquaintance of my daughter, and consequently well known to both my sons at Berlin. Thomas speaks very handsomely of her person and accomplishments. I have not seen, but am impatient to see Mr. whatever his name was, life of Mr. Paine. His political writings, I am singular enough to believe, have done more harm than his irreligious ones. He understood neither government nor religion. From a malignant heart he wrote virulent declamations which the enthusiastic fury of the times intimidated all men, even Mr. Burke, from answering as he ought. His deism, okay, so now he is acknowledging that this other guy he's writing about was a deist. His deism, as it appears to me, has promoted rather than retarded the cause of revelation, at least in America and indeed in Europe. His Billingsgate, stolen from Blount's Oracles of Reason, from Bolingbroke, Voltaire, Berenger, and company, will never discredit Christianity. He is saying that what this other guy was saying will never discredit Christianity. So therefore, he must be one of those people that believes in Christianity, because he is defending Christianity by saying this, which will hold its ground in some degree as long as human nature shall have anything moral or intellectual left in it. The Christian religion, as I understand it, is the brightness of the glory and the express portrait of the character of the eternal, self-existent, independent, benevolent, and powerful and all-merciful Creator, Preserver and Father of the universe, the first good, perfect, and first fair. it will last as long as the world. He is saying that Christianity will last as long as the world. Nice thing for a deist to say, right? Neither savage nor civilized man without a revelation could ever have discovered or invented it. Ask me not then whether I am a Catholic or Protestant, Calvinist or Arminian. As far as they are Christians, as far as they are Christians, I wish to be a fellow disciples with them all. So he was saying, I'm not a Catholic, I'm not a Protestant, I'm not a Calvinist, and I'm not an Arminian. I am just a Christian. He was a non-denominational Christian. It says it right here, and I will read it again. As far as they are Christians, I wish to be a fellow disciple with them all. Why would a deist say that? They wouldn't. Deists don't say things like that. This was truly a Christian. I am, my dear Rush, your affectionate, so on and so forth. There's your proof. It wasn't in his previous letter, it was in this letter where he was saying he wanted to be a disciple of anyone who was following the Christian faith. And he was truly a disciple of Dr. Benjamin Rush. It says it right here. So, before you go claiming that John Adams was not a Christian, you better read that second letter. Because that is some claim for a deist. John Adams was just not a deist. He was a Christian, and there's the proof. Hopefully that's a lot better proof than what David Barton was presenting. I will tell you more in a future video, so stay tuned.